there ain't a lot to show, Phil. It's cold outside. Right, let me
Hello.
down. Oh, we're
Welcome to Full Record Jacket with Phil and Ben. We are on, Ben. Yeah, indeed. I pressed the button. So you are going to basically introduce most of this because it's your vinyl time.
It is my vinyl time. I've been good because this week I've only got two, and one of them is the new album by People Who Aren't There by Future Islands, with probably one of the greatest frontmen of all time.
Your favourite synth pop rock band, whatever you call them, alternative synth rock or something?
Yes, I would say something like that. In my hallway, I have hanging up, thanks to a friend of mine, Neil Lucas. When I went to see him in November of 22, I got a signed set list from them all. I advise anybody who hasn't heard them to go out and listen to them or go and see them live, because Sam Herring, the lead singer, is nuts. Is the best way to.
I would do a Sam Herring dance, but I can't.
People may have just eaten.
Yeah, he's got. Is that any good? Was that like him? I'm not quite sure.
Well, yeah, I mean,
he does these sort of. He throws these sort of shapes, doesn't he? It's sort of.
Yeah, you look more like a salmon having a fit.
Probably.
But next on my list, Philster, I bought this little present to myself because it obviously was my birthday this week, as you did point out. I did notice that. Thank you very much. But I did get, and it's still in the cellophane, the new Liam Gallagher, John Squire album called Liam Gallagher, John Squire.
I read a review of that.
Yes.
I read more than one. Well, there have been a number of good reviews of it, and I think...
They have, yeah.
I'm trying to think who gave it a good review. I think some of the national papers in the UK gave it a good review, but I also did read another review by a fan who's a fan of both the Stone Roses and Liam,
who
thinks that the lyrics are dreadful. I haven't heard any of the lyrics, really. I can't comment on it, but...
I have heard a few people say this about the lyrics, that the lyrics are dreadful, but Coldplay have made a career out of it, so... You know,
a few people have. It has been done more than once.
Yeah. But I haven't listened to it fully. What I have listened to, I really enjoyed. So you probably not listened to it yet, have you? Because you're probably still listening.
A bit on the radio. Heard a bit on the radio. Thought it sounded. I mean, it reminded me a bit of the guitar style of the later Stone Roses, the second coming.
Yes, yeah. When he went all Zeppelin.
Yeah, it was a bit like that, the one I heard anyway.
Right. Now, they're two that I've pitched, and I thought, that's a good week for me. Only got two. Then yesterday happened. 1 second. Let me move my chair.
Did you buy a complete box set of everything that's ever been recorded by the Grateful Dead?
It's on Bob Dylan's back catalogue.
Is it Bob Dylan's back catalogue?
No. There's one or two here, Philster. I've been in Torquay this weekend, home of the mighty Gulls, and we went round to. I was staying at my cousin Martin, and we went round to his wife Helen's parents, Anna and Alan. And they were getting rid of some vinyls, and I couldn't say no. Who can say no to Julio Iglesias?
Oh, well, as you know, Ben, you know from my involvement with hospital radio that Julio is a favourite of certain age groups. Yeah,
there is some stuff in here a bit like Julio, which I'm probably not going to listen to. But we've got, you can pronounce that better than I can.
I was about to say, is that Tom
Brass?
Is that Tom Jones? It's not Tom Jones. It's that era, late 60s.
Yeah.
The Tuana Brass. Yeah, is that Herb Albert?
Yes, that's it. Yeah. But I've got some really good stuff as well. I've got some Neil Diamond.
The Jazz Singer. The Jazz Singer album, was that just a compilation?
No, that's the Golden Greats. We've got
Brothers in Arms.
Brothers in Arms.
Have you not had that before?
Yeah, I've already got it. We've got some James Last. So the only thing I know of James Last is, I mean, he does look rather odd there. It's
James Last in Russia. Wow.
in current times, not the best album probably to be owning.
That must have been a Cold War classic. That must have been.
It must have been, but the only thing I know about James Last is they mention him in Red Dwarf, where they say about James Last singing "Memories are made of these" with a set of in his undercrackers. Some Barbra Streisand, which I might not listen to, but the Carpenters, and then I've got one of your.
Is that Carpenters? That's an original album. Is that an original album, or is that a compilation?
It's a Christmas portrait album.
It's a Christmas
a Carpenter's Christmas portrait album, and then we've got some Cliff.
Yeah,
we've got some Cliff. There's another Christmas album here.
Congratulations on getting that one. Yeah.
I haven't obviously. So some of these are a little bit of a surprise to me. We've got some Nat King Cole, Dean Martin. I Am Set for Christmas because the next one is another Christmas album, and the one after that is another Christmas album. And then we have some Jim Reeves.
Oh, you're just going so trad. I mean, this is.
I know. But we then got some ABBA.
The album, soundtrack to the movie. So you're going to take a chance on ABBA, yeah?
No, I didn't know of this album, and you'll probably know more about this album than me, but I didn't know if this was an album or a cookery book, is all I'm saying. Can you guess which one it is?
I'm guessing it's not the Rolling Stones' Let It Bleed with Delia Smith's cake on the front.
No, or Goat's Head Soup.
Or Goat's Head Soup.
It is parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme.
Oh, it's S&G. Yeah.
It is S&G. Possibly the worst titled album of all time. Somebody at CBS Records, whoever their record company was, signed off on that title, and they need firing, as far as I'm concerned. From a cannon into a shark-filled stream.
It's a lyric from Scarborough Fair.
I don't care, it's rubbish. It could be a lyric from Grimsby Fair, it's still rubbish. Anyway, next up, we've got some more.
Oh, Bridge Over Troubled Water. Now, do you know what... Have you seen the optical illusion on that album cover?
What, that sometimes you think that Garfunkel's in front of Simon? Is that it?
Well, what you need to do is just cover Paul Simon's face up, not his hair. Just cover Paul Simon's face.
It looks like he's got a moustache.
It looks like Art has got a very big old style moustache. Turn it around so we can see it.
It does. Look.
There we go. Look, Art's got a massive moustache.
He looks like Lord Kitchener.
Yeah.
So, we've got some Simon and Garfunkel. We've got some Elton John.
Oh, is that Ice on Fire? That's the peak of Elton going 80s MOR, that is, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah. From 1985. Well, quick, we've got some more Julio. A little bit of a compilation, the hits, and it's got Human League on it. Hazel O'Connor, do you remember her? It just sounds like a rubbish wrestler.
Shall I tell you, the closest I've got to Julio Iglesias, I was once on holiday in Malaga, and I was wandering around Malaga in southern Spain, and they've got a bull ring there. There was no bullfighting going on.
Fighting the bull?
There was there was posters up that later that week Julio was performing in the bull ring, but I didn't go. But
so that's about as close as I've got with that record. You do realise that,
yeah.
And then we've got some Rod Stewart. Look at as my auntie will say, it's her because she thinks she looks a little bit like Rod Stewart. But
Atlantic Crossing.
That's a crazy album cover. Look at that.
It's very 70s, that is, isn't it?
It is. It's very, very, very good. So, we've got a bit of Rod Stewart in there.
You'll be sailing away with that one. Oh, flipping neckers. Middle of the road classics.
When you can have two.
You've got two. Middle of the road classics. So that's the Barbra Streisand album. Isn't that called Woman in Love?
Something. Guilty.
Guilty. That's got Woman in Love's on it. It's Bee Gees wrote it all for her.
It is, yeah. And so if I can either have them in stereo or one for the week, one for Sunday best.
Fantastic.
2 copies of that. Some more Cliff. Now, you'll probably know more about this than I do.
I remember that song. It's like a ballad. I've heard that song. I don't know. I mean, obviously, I'm not familiar in
When's
detail
the album
with.
from? Does it tell
That'll be
me?
a compilation because you see, it's got MFP on it.
Yes.
That's Music for Pleasure. That was EMI's budget label, so it's probably a compilation.
Ah, right. Okay. It's
Probably
from
compiled.
1965, Phil.
Yeah.
So you're about 15 then, weren't you? I think.
Exactly.
And then when you can't get enough Cliff, you got some more Cliff.
Now that is a childhood memory for me. That one. That's
This one here.
My mum had that. Yeah, that's Cliff's 40 Golden Greats.
I really like that. I think that's a really cool album cover.
For our US viewers, I'm saying particularly US, but also viewers in other parts of the world, if you don't know who Cliff Richard is, he's something of a British institution in a way, isn't he?
He is, yeah.
He was originally, back in the late 50s, he was considered the British Elvis because he did rock and roll style, but without the burgers. And he went
the sex
into the 60s. He went very much into sort of family entertainment, all round mainstream pop, and then he then just became a middle of the road star.
And he released one of my favourite singles of all time.
he had a lot of hits in Britain. In fact, I think it's correct to say that only the Beatles and Presley had more. Did he have more number ones? And he's had well over 100 hits on the chart as well. I think
when he went for Christmas #1 in the last decade, if it got the Christmas #1, which he didn't, or was it with Millennium Prayer, something like that, he would have had a hit in something like 5 or 6 decades.
He had a hit in 4. Didn't he have a hit in 4 decades? 4 different decades or something?
Yeah. A #1.
He may have had a #1 hit in 4 different decades.
Yeah. So, got a bit of Cliff. Remember, we used to play Cliff when we used to what became Rugby FM, or one of the people who was tendering for the Rugby FM contract.
Yeah.
We used to play 50s Cliff before the news.
We did. We had a 50s hit rock and roll, didn't we?
Yeah, because sometimes it was 2 minutes long.
Sometimes it was something like Little Richard or Jerry Lee Lewis, and that kept our rock and roll cred. And then sometimes we played Cliff. But there you go.
Cliff, yeah. Next up, and these are all in mint condition as well. We got That'll Be the Day with Ringo Starr there.
This is basically an old people's record collection that you've got, basically, man. I mean, that's.
Hold on, don't say that just because of the Jim Reeves.
Come on then. What else have we got?
Some more Elton.
It's Don't Shoot Me, I'm Only the Piano Player. Is that the one with Daniel on it? It
is, yeah. It's the first track on side
Crocodile Rock on there as well, I think.
Elderberry Wine, Crocodile Rock is on there, yes.
Those are the hits.
There's a little bit of Elton there. Then we have the Grease soundtrack.
Grease is the word.
It is. And one thing, these people here, back in, when did this come out? The 70s? Movies tried to tell you that these were all 16. They look about 45.
It is quite funny to see them all playing high school kids when they were clearly...
John Travolta there is not 16.
Do you know what I did a couple of years ago? So do you know what I did a couple of summers ago? I actually watched Grease, the movie. I'd never seen it before, and I actually watched it all. I put myself through the whole thing.
Oh dear me!
I've never watched Pretty Woman. I've never watched Dirty Dancing.
I've seen that.
I've never watched. What's the other girly film? What's the other big one?
50
I can't remember.
First Dates.
Maybe I've never seen that.
No, nor have I.
But I thought I'd watch Grease. I watched it.
Yeah, there's 2 hours of your life you're not getting back.
It was kind of bizarre, but yeah, I mean.
But they're all smoking and. They're not 16, are they?
One of the reasons I watched it was because it's it had this controversy that it was no longer politically correct. So I thought I'd watch it just to see how incorrect it was. And I do like Frankie Valli's theme song though. That's quite funky. That's quite groovy.
Anyway, next on the list, and this is probably the worst condition vinyl, and it is your man. It is Elvis.
It's Golden Records Volume 2.
Yeah, It has been, as you can see, my cousin's wife, I don't know if it's her or brother, have graffitied it. And I don't know if you can make this out here, but it says, Beatles forever, Elvis is a censored. So we can only imagine what that word would have been in there. So I'm going to do a little bit of refurb, give that one a clean, get a new sleeve, fix this sleeve up, and it'll be
sacrilege. The gold suit was designed by a company called Nudie in Hollywood.
No, right. They need sacking as well.
I don't know why I told you that.
Is how's my hand moving?
It's moving like a flower on a David Attenborough documentary.
No, it's moving slowly because it's Eric Clapton, isn't it, Phil? Old slow hands. Slow hands. Well, I should have done both hands, but yeah. So, yeah, we've got 461 Ocean Boulevard, is it? Yeah. So we've got that one in the collection, which I think is one of his better albums.
He shot the sheriff.
He did. But do you know what? He didn't shoot the deputy.
Apparently not. So I've heard that as well, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're going down for one crime, you might as well take them both on the nose. Anyway, you'll like this because it's a little bit of PS for you.
Oh, yeah. Still crazy. After all these years.
This is not the get-up of a rock and roll star.
It's not, is it?
Is the get-up of a geography teacher taking you away on a weekend excursion.
Well, Paul Simon always has been a bit more geography teacher than rock and roll star, hasn't he? He's always been closer to the geography teacher.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Paul. I do like Paul Simon, by the way. Don't diss me if you're
He hates him.
If you're a Simonaholic.
Next up, when you just can't get enough Paul Simon, you're going to be happy at this one,
There's
Phil.
another
Are you
one.
ready? There's another one.
It's got. I was going to say it's got to be Graceland. Surely, if there's only two, then.
And now he's looking like substitute geography teacher who really doesn't want to be there.
He's the geography supply teacher. Yeah. Have you listened to that album?
I haven't yet. No.
You need to. That should it could be part of your education. That can be from the geography teacher.
Education. He's literally there going, "Oh, why did I choose this as a profession?"
He's going to take you to Africa on your geography lesson.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, he's going to take you to give you some African township jive and other rhythms from that continent. Yeah.
Anyway, next up is another great album. It's George Michael's "Listen Without Prejudice."
Oh yeah. Yeah, it is a good one. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so we've got that in the bag. Next up. I used to love this one when I was a kid. I had the hots for her. In fact, I think she wipes Madonna and Blondie your two.
So I was going to say Betty Boo, but if it's going back longer, then it's got to be
Gloria Estefan.
Is it? Oh, I was going to say it was the Bangles. It's not Susanna Hoffs.
No, Suzanne Hoff's still top of the list. Still top of it. But Gloria Estefan, I used to have serious when I was 9-10 years old.
I could buy into the Susanna Hoffs argument, but Gloria Estefan is not hotter than Madonna or Debbie Harry. No way.
Yeah, she is.
No way. Even when you take all three at the prime, no way.
I know we are in the Me Too generation, but I'm afraid, Phil, that she's so wholesome and lovely and just,
I've seen her house. Well, I was told it was her house when I went on a...
What, when you broke into it?
No, the guided...
Do you know whose house this is?
Guided tour of the harbour in Miami. We were told that was her house, where there's all these, houses on their little islands.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it really is, but perhaps it was.
Right. We're into the final third, and I'm conscious that we haven't got a lot of time tonight. We're only recording one show. We've got about 3 to 5 minutes left. So let's get the pace on. I've never heard of this guy. He wears a hat. He's got hair like Jimmy Savile, and he's got some big sideburns. It's this guy.
It's Charlie Rich.
Yeah, because it says that there. Yeah.
Yeah, but
I haven't got a clue. You might be able to educate me more on Charlie Rich.
I think that's Behind Closed Doors.
It is.
Charlie Rich did that song, which I think might be on there. His middle of the road sort of big hit in the early 70s was The Most Beautiful Girl. You know that one?
Hey, it's on here. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a country song. "Hey, if you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world," you
I
must
do
know
remember
that one.
that. Yes, I do
Yeah, yeah.
remember that.
Now, Charlie Rich is the same generation as Presley, Jerry Lee Lewis, Johnny Cash, all them.
Yeah,
He started his career in Memphis. He was signed to Sun Records as well, so he made sort of rockabilly, rock and roll kind of stuff early on. He could play the piano very well. He was a
yeah,
songwriter as well, and a great talent. Never had quite the commercial success of those guys I've just mentioned, but that was that
yeah.
was his kind of 70s comeback. That album.
One thing I will say, if he
Mm-hmm.
was like, "Hey, baby, want to get behind closed doors?" You'd be like, "Can you just leave him a little bit ajar? Maybe wide open, just so people can see in, please." Because you look like you're going to murder me. And anyway, next up, Don McLean, American Pie, which I already
You've
have,
already
but
got
I
that,
have
yeah.
I
You'll
have
have to
already got
You'll
this.
have to get the one that's in the best condition, won't you?
Yeah, well, I'll just keep both of them because I'm greedy.
You realise if you get rid of one, it'll be bye, Miss American Pie.
He's good,
Sorry
isn't he?
about that.
1 second. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did it. Yeah, he's good, isn't he? He's so good with these things. Yeah, I'll tell him. They said that was quite good, Phil. Round of applause. Anyway, next up, and I do have this on already, but this is in really good condition. I've got to thank Anna and Alan. Thank you very much. But
It's Band on the Run.
it is Band on the Run, even
Now,
though stationary, clearly
do
not
you,
running.
do you know when that was pressed? Is that from the very early? Is that an original 74 pressing?
I haven't checked it out to make sure, but
I
I
take it
will find out. But
I
it's in
take it's a
immaculate
British version.
condition.
I think it's a 9-track. It's a original British 9-track version, I guess.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 9 tracks. Yeah, 9 tracks
Yeah.
on it. So I'll have to check out its issue number and
You'd have
find
to look
out.
it up, but it could be.
Which is basically what I'm going to do. Once I've popped out and come back, this is my evening. And then, much like Barbra Streisand, you can never have too much, can you? Can you?
I was going to say, if you've been given them free, then it's money for nothing and your Dire Straits discs for free.
Yeah, he did that one as well. Phil Bingo.
Yeah,
Wait, what? How many more do you need? One. Okay, we'll try and get them out of him. Right, next up, some more Dire Straits.
definitely your money for nothing and your discs for free, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I mean,
That's
it's immaculate. These have been so well looked after, apart from that Elvis one. Next up, the smallest man in rock and roll, Leo Sayer, who I have found a little bit of love for. I thought he was a comedy figure, and it turns out that some of his stuff is actually really good. He's got a really good voice, and it's not like a really like Two Unlimited or something like that. So I'm going with that one. It's a little bit of Leo Sayer, almost there. Some more Dire Straits.
that's the final album.
It is. Yeah, no, it's not. I've still got some more to go. So Dire Straits, we're going to whip through these. Simply Red Stars. My mum had this when I was a kid, when I was about 10. When did it come out? I was 11, 10, 11. I really liked this album.
It was on rotation, was it?
It was, yeah. That or Alita Adams' album. Or In Excess's Kick.
Crept into your brain.
Yeah, we've got some more Rod Stewart.
Do you think he's sexy?
Do you think it's my Auntie Den? Quite possibly. All right, next up, some Boney M.
I don't know what to say to Boney M. Bread is always great. I do like David Gates and Bread. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Oh, it's actually a band. I thought this was just going to be like a microphone put up to like whole wheat
or someone sawing a loaf into slices. Yeah.
Oh, I'm really disappointed at that. No, I actually do like Bread. I love Iv and Make It With You and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, back onto the list because I know we're short time. We've got some more Neil Diamond.
A gem of an album. I've never heard it, to be honest. Is that an album or is it a comp?
It's an
I'm
album,
not sure.
Yeah. Well, it's not a chicken, is it?
Is it a compilation? What's it called?
It's called Gold Diamond. Neil Diamond. You know what I would have called it? Diamond by Neil Diamond. You
Yeah,
can't get
or
gold diamonds, can you? That makes no sense. But you could get a diamond because you could have a diamond with a diamond on it. Anyway,
crystal diamond, sparkling diamond.
Carpenters. And the Carpenters. So we've got some more Carpenters. We've got another hits album, Gypsy Kings. Might be able to shed some. I don't know anything
Can't
about
come up with a
Gypsy
pun on
Kings.
Gypsy Kings. I must admit, I've never really gone into them. Oh, it's
Some
ABBA
more
again.
ABBA, greatest hits.
It's well packaged, that ABBA greatest hits. It's a good gatefold on that.
Some more Neil Diamond, and he is looking smoking there. Look at him. Look at his smouldering eyes, Phil. When he looks at you like that, do you feel all a bit warm inside? Like you could,
Neil Diamond's my favourite for that kind of middle of the road stuff. He's a good songwriter.
Yeah.
He made an album. Sorry, I'm waffling.
No.
If Neil Diamond,
came into your room looking like that, you'd go, "Come on, then, let's spoon," wouldn't you? Because his eyes would be all smouldering. You'd be like, "Oh, come on, then, let's spoon." Anyway, you can make your Neil Diamond thingy next because
there's more Neil Diamond,
and it is the Jazz Singer album.
He did get stereotyped as being sort of middle of the road schlock, but his songwriting is very good, and
it is.
He did an album with Rick Rubin. Of course, Rick Rubin did the Johnny Cash sort of comeback, if you like, the latest Johnny Cash stuff, and he did do a couple of albums, I think, with Rick Rubin that were very highly acclaimed.
Yeah. So we're on to the last one.
Yeah.
And we're ending where we started, and it's an album where it's Julio Iglesias looking here like a man who's just farted and doesn't want you to know it was him, but clearly it was him. Look at that. And then when you found out it's him, he's like, "Yeah, it was me." Look, he's like, "Oh yeah, it might be me." Yeah, it was me. And he's wearing the wrong colour trousers for that because he is not getting up now. He is staying sat down.
If he gambled on that one, he doesn't really want to stand up. No.
Because one thing I will say, Julio, they should not be lumpy, is what I'm going to say. So I went from having nothing really. There's 2 albums, one for my birthday, one a birthday treat. And I've been given some, there are things in here which I probably won't listen to, like Jim Reeves, but the ones I'm not going to listen to, I am going to donate to the local record shop because I spoke to a lady the other day and she's more than willing to take in some stuff so then other people may enjoy them instead of them just gathering dust on my shelf. And yes, and thank you to Anna and Alan for donating me their collection. It's going to a good home. That's what I'd like to say.
There we go. Ben has been taken to the middle of the road. In the words of Neil Young, will he be heading for the ditch? We'll have to find out next time.
No, I will be, yeah. It's going to happen at some point, Phil, let's face it.
This has been Full Record Jacket. Thanks to Ben and his full records of jackets and even his jackets of records. Join us for another one soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.